I'm Jason Kesser. This is Beach Channel Live, and today I'm with a very special guest. His name is DJ Zog. You can see his face on that camera. Everybody knows DJ Zog. I will tell you this. I've spoken to about 15 people in the last 24 hours that have told me that this DJ is the best that Miami has ever produced, and he's got about 20 minutes to convince me that I'm wrong. How you feel about that right now?
I'm just glad that it worked out because I paid them all off.
You paid all of them off?
They spoke well about me.
I didn't know them. They just cold called me. Arturo. How many cousins you got, dude?
We're Latinos. You already know what happens. Everybody's your cousin. Even if when they're not your cousin, they're your cousin anyway. But yo, thank you for having me here, bro.
Dude, thank you for coming so much. I don't want to date you. I'm probably going to date myself here, but you have a storied career at Power 96. I think if there was going to be a radio station that I would tell someone describes Miami, it's not to say anything about the other radio stations. There's a lot of good stations in Miami, but Power 96, I feel like, is the identity of Miami. And you've been essential there. Would you agree with that? And how could you just describe maybe to people who just got here, like what Power 96 really is for this place?
Sure.
We're both from.
The positioning statement is Miami's party station. Yeah, those three words say enough. You already know where the party's at, in Miami. And I've been there since October of 1996. And honestly, I'm very blessed and fortunate because I would listen to the radio and I'd say, when I was 12, 13, 14 years old, I'd be like, I want to be on the radio one day. I want to be that guy. And
you thought that
I listened to Felix Salma, DJ Laz, all the other DJs at the time.
DJ Laz was already there?
Oh, yeah. He was already there.
I thought we were saying we were old, but now we just said he's older.
I would record mixes. I'm like,
don't come after me, DJ Laz.
Don't worry, he's too slow. Anyway. So you can outrun him. But anyway, I would listen to all the mixes and record them. And I'm like, I'm going to be that one day. And look, in a nutshell, to be honest with you, they promoted a DJ competition. I entered several DJ competitions.
How old were you when that happened?
The first one I entered I was 16 years old when I first started. And eventually there was, I got into a couple of them. And one day, I didn't win one of them. I came in second place, but I ended up calling the music director at the time, and I said, "Hey, I heard that you guys were looking for DJs on the weekends to play." And he's like, "No problem. Are you available on this weekend?" I'm like, "Yes, yes, 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 yes." And that's how it started.
Would you suggest that to young DJs, dude? Because this city does still produce DJs. I think more than ever, like just that perseverance and just stay on top of it.
I think so. I think it's a little bit of. It's evolved now where...
It's a different story. And we're going to talk about that.
Yeah, because, we've gotten to a point where now you don't really have to work a lot to be a DJ. If you have a laptop, congratulations, you're a DJ.
Yeah, bro.
And, all you need is about 40, 50 songs and you can rock a party already. And
you can.
So it's a little bit different, but
I'm a Spotify playlist master. Dude, I blend songs and everything.
You look like one.
Yeah,
But I think that regardless,
a guy who can go from Billy Joel to Depeche Mode, like seamless somehow. How do I do it?
But even by saying that, you have like passion for that. You have to have passion, in my opinion. So for the young DJs, like, you can't teach somebody passion. You can't tell somebody to be passionate. Do you really want to do it? And I'm one of those guys where I've always been passionate about DJing and being on the radio. And so I think maybe that...
And you've done both tremendously well. And they're synonymous, but they're also two different things. Staying in the DJ camp real quick.
Yeah.
And you can talk about like when you were learning and how you learned, because I know you learned on vinyl.
Yeah.
And I know there's a difference between scratching and mixing. They're both two different skills. Wouldn't you say?
Oh, of course, yeah. I mean, back in the day when you actually had to place the needle onto the vinyl and, old school. And quick story, in 2020, while all the DJs were doing lives, because everything was closed, there was no clubs or whatever, so DJs would go live on IG or Facebook or whatever and do sets. I wanted to do it and I wanted to be a little bit different, so what did I do? I did vinyl versus virus.
Oh, what's
And so I did DJ sets, but only using vinyl, and it worked out really well.
I bet, dude.
Oh yeah, every week it would be like a different genre of music.
Yeah.
Sometimes it'd be like the retro 80s, and maybe it'd be freestyle one week. The biggest one was the Miami bass and booty music.
That would have made my pandemic. I was listening to like sad ambient stuff. Like, where's my family? What do they look like?
Yeah,
Grandma.
Yeah. So yeah, I still have all my vinyl. I pay a storage every month. I just don't have room at home.
I was gonna ask you, man, if you have a massive, and if all DJs of your ilk like have a massive vinyl collection.
A lot of them have sold it. A lot of them, there's a demand for it as well. I almost sold it a couple of years ago for a ridiculous amount of price, and I said, you know what? Let me hold off on it. And I'm glad I kept it.
Yeah, I'm glad you did too.
Yeah.
Real quick, as far as the definition of DJs, before we move on to the radio, which I really want to talk to you about, I think there's some people that think that DJing is just playing other people's music. Now, and I don't know if this is always true or more true now, but DJs do create their own music. Like, what is that like gray area between using other people's music, creating your own? Like, is there anything you want to say about that could educate me?
I'm going to be real. I've never made my own music. I don't do that. My specialty is you give me 100 people, 500 people, or 1,000 people in a room, and I will read the room and I'll create the vibe.
Absolutely.
And I think any DJ can play a song. Any DJ can play a couple of songs and mix them, but are you reading the room right?
Yeah.
Are you matching? Because
what's the BPM of these heartbeats right here?
We've come to a point where DJs, it's called Serato Face, and that's the program that they use to DJ, where the DJs stare at the laptop the entire time. You're staring at the laptop, but you're not staring at the crowd and at the people. So I will say that, and 100%. And I tell clients that book me all the time for private events, whatever it is, where my specialty is I'll be in a room and I will read the room right. So if the room maybe wants to go a little bit more 80s, then I'll rock it there, but then I'll get out of it so I don't, it doesn't become monotonous. If the room is into Latino and they want to, they want some Spanish music, I'll go in that lane. You got to kind of like feel it out a little bit.
For sure. Being particularly from Miami, what about like just sliding in some salsa or
all the time,
or
all the time.
Bachata,
at a nightclub, I don't say American nightclub, but where mostly it's English music, I will, out of nowhere, I will drop a merengue or I will drop a salsa, or, I've done it plenty, especially like in South Florida, right? I mean, what percentage of South Floridians are, Latino? So you're safe with that. So
are you ever playing in like LA or New York or wherever?
Yes.
And like you drop that and it's like super Miami for you and people are like, wait a second.
I have to. Because if I'm playing in New York or I play in Kansas City, Missouri, believe it or not, which I will be, I do all the time in a few weeks.
I was going to say that because I thought Kansas would be mad if you skipped them, but you did not skip them, dude. You brought salsa straight to Kansas.
When they say it's Miami's DJ, I'm going to drop the salsa merengue, plenty of Pitbull, plenty of like those Miami vibes and the reggaeton stuff.
Who, if I can say, definitely seems to be a friend of yours.
Yeah, I've known Pitt for a while. We have some. Yeah, well,
dude, that guy loves being on your show.
Yeah,
bro.
no,
I've seen him.
Yeah, Pitt's cool. I mean, he started from the bottom. I remember him coming out to the radio station and promoting his songs before he was signed to any labels or anything. He had his CD. Yo, play my stuff. Play my stuff.
For sure. And just like DJs being given a chance by stations, some of our homegrowns like got their start by the curation and the bravery, I think, of stations. So do you feel like you've done that too? I want to tell everybody who's watching like just a little bit of what your show is.
So when I started as a DJ, just like mixing records. So eventually, about 8 years ago, is when they said, hey, wait a second, this guy does more than just DJing. He actually can speak English in complete sentences. So he might be actually work out as a host.
How does anyone in Miami understand?
And so that's what about 8 years ago I started hosting, and so now I've evolved into a host where I actually speak, and we have topics and we talk to the audience and people call in. And
I think you're a fantastic interviewer.
Thank you.
And then you also field a lot of calls, and they get a chance to talk to the talent that's in the building too, right?
All the time. All the time, yeah. And so if I've evolved to that, so I'm not just stuck behind two turntables like playing songs.
No,
even though
sure.
that's my specialty, I love to do that. And so it's kind of I've evolved to that now.
For sure. Who are some of your favorite people you've interviewed? I don't want to like single anybody out, but and like, what's your style, dude? To if it's people that you really admire or whatever, or
I think I have a good relationship with a lot of the artists that started here in Miami before they were like on a big label. So we mentioned Pitt, like is cool, but like guys like, I don't know if you ever heard Pretty Ricky. They started here like in Miami, obviously before we were playing them, and so it's we have like a special bond. Sean Paul Sean Paul, the reggae and dancehall icon, of course, that plays all around the world and is a staple in that genre of music. We were playing his music before he was signed to Atlantic Records. It was on VP Records, and and so Sean Paul is like, it's almost like family, Some of these guys are like very, very, they're cool, and you establish
relations. And a bit of like Miami's fire.
Yeah, you establish relationships after a while, and so a couple of because we would embrace the reggae and dancehall music. So like Red Rat and Kevin Little and all those guys.
We're neighbors.
Yeah, we're all cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
Kevin Little lives in I think he lives in Davie or Plantation.
It's part of our DNA here for sure. We've inherited some reggae. That's our territory too.
Oh, for sure, yeah.
Yeah.
I did a reggae party 2 weeks ago. It was amazing.
Speaking of, I see this picture of you and 50 Cent.
Yeah.
And man. What? So how was that?
That was cool.
I got to go back in the files.
A lot of these artists, they would come to the radio station to promote their projects and their music right early. So a lot of the pictures, and for example, this one is when, he first started and they're pushing into club. So 50 Cent back then, he was big, but he's not what he is now.
When people at that stage in their career and are functioning at that level, they're about to pop off. What do they think about Miami when they're here? I mean, are they just excited about this landscape and being introduced?
They know it's a party.
Yeah,
they know the energy is high. They know that this is somewhere you got to bring the energy. Ludacris. I mean, that was really.
You
really
had
cool.
Luda in the building?
Luda was super dope, man. Luda, it's cool because Luda used to be a radio broadcaster. He was a radio DJ in Atlanta.
Why don't I find that hard to believe, dude? There's something about his voice.
Right?
I don't know. Yeah,
right?
He's a good speaker as well.
He's an amazing lyricist.
Well, forget it.
Amazing lyricist. And so that was very cool. Kelly Rowland, oh my God, she was right.
Tell me about Kelly.
I think that was right. I don't know if right after Destiny's Child split up or whatever, but Kelly Rowland, because she did a couple of solo projects. She's super sweet, super nice.
I think South Beach was Destiny's Child for 2002. I think that's all you could hear.
Yeah, right?
Well, yeah.
Hey, if it works and the ladies love it, right? You're hit a home run.
Say my name. I'm just on Washington. Man. That's 2002 for sure.
Yeah, for sure. I love that.
Fix any of my dates, bro. Because you're probably more of a historian than me, but that's
the problem, and I'm going to be honest with you, is that sometimes it ends up being a blur.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to lie. I'm going to be real. You want me to be really real? Where the fact is, a lot of these parties, a lot of these clubs, there's alcohol.
Yeah.
And I drank a little bit. And sometimes, some things are,
not too much to not get the job done.
I mean, it's hard for me to distinguish between 2004 and 2005 and 2006 and 2007.
If you fall asleep on the table, the record will wake you up, right? At least.
Yeah, man. But
for sure.
But
speaking about those blurry days, which I was very much there for.
Now I sound like an alcoholic.
Yeah,
I sound like I have a problem.
The 90s were rough, kids. This is what we had. We had beepers and drinking problems.
Beepers.
I don't know what to tell you.
Oh my God, beat me. 143.
What are some of the old venues that stand out to you, where you feel like you cut your teeth as a DJ? And also tell us venues that you really think are functioning now in Miami that people who are watching this can go to and check out that maybe they
quick story. The first big nightclub that I actually DJ'd was called Rebar, and it was 1121 Washington Avenue. I was 17 years old. I was a senior at Braddock Senior High School. It was the last day of school. Everybody, not just Braddock, Sunset, Coral Park, Coral Gables, all the major high schools in Dade County went to this party at Rebar in 1995. And one of my old DJ buddies, Tony Tone, he gives me a call. He's like, "Hey, you want to come with me? Let's go." So we go, and I'm rocking the party there alongside him. And there was this promoter. His name was Xavier. He was known as Z-Bash. Puts his arm around me and says, "Kid, stick with me. We're gonna go places." Damn. After that, I DJ'd in almost every nightclub on South Beach and in Coconut Grove. And one of the venues, to be honest, because you just asked a question, Cameo Theater.
Cameo, that's what I was going to ask you about,
Cameo.
Man.
One of the greatest things was having my name on that marquee.
Yeah, absolutely.
And because I used to DJ Thursday night, all ages. Sure. It was a no ID required party during the summertime, Thursday nights, and it was like Miami bass and booty party.
Anybody who's not from here, you might drive by and just see that 1920s. Just why is Humphrey Bogart's name not on the marquee? Whatever. That Cameo has represented Miami in every single decade, dude. And I bet you have a lot of stories from there, too.
1445 Washington Avenue, South Beach. Yeah, we had 69 Boys, Tootsie Roll, remember that, performed there. We had Two Live Crew perform there. DJ Uncle Al, may he rest in peace. I played there with him. A lot of like old school classic. It was awesome.
Yeah, man.
The Cameo Theater.
Those are the real days.
I'm reminiscing right now, thinking about that. And nightclubs have evolved a little bit. And you asked
this shot up here, is that a good example?
Oh, that's Dare nightclub.
Yeah.
At the Guitar Tower there at the Seminole Hard Rock Hotel and Casino.
That's there.
Yeah.
Oh man, I have not been in that space.
Really?
I can't wait to go.
Oh, you got to go.
Yeah.
You got to go and jump up and down in the middle of the dance floor.
Let's go. Bring me.
So that's definitely it's like Vegas style with the big screens and the big lights and the big dance floor and the big speakers and the big sound. So that's kind of cool. One of the most successful nightclubs has been Sway in downtown Fort Lauderdale. They've been going for about 7 or 8 years now. I actually did their first night when they opened up.
Yeah.
And downtown Fort Lauderdale is rocking. I know we're based in Miami, and I know a lot of Miami people, I can't drive up to Fort Lauderdale, but there's some like good parties up there as well. Wynwood is always rocking and kicking, but they're more like lounges rather than nightclubs.
Yeah.
No,
absolutely.
And I know Live does its thing, but that's its own kind of like. I feel that most of the people that go to Live are not from here. It's like tourists, right?
I feel like that. It's such a massive operation that you gotta like invite the whole country.
Yeah, but Dave Grutman, you got to shout him out. He's done his thing there, very successful with his parties at Live. And
dude, I got to say, just back on Wynwood, I think that that gave an opportunity for a lot of different kinds of DJs that were playing like maybe still bumping stuff, but more artful stuff. Yeah. And then they started putting enough apartment buildings in Wynwood, guys, our art district, that they started asking the music to get shut down at 10 o'clock. People, we swayed out of the lane right there.
I know. Wynwood,
don't move into the 3 blocks of our brand new art district if you want to go to sleep.
I know.
My opinion, that's it.
Yeah, I know. Driving down, what is it, like northwest 2nd Avenue there in Wynwood. It's cool because you drive down and then you hear all like the different songs and the different genres of music sometimes. Sure. But it's become very.
We can take like 45 minutes to go like 8 blocks.
Yeah,
like the Grove used to be in the 90s.
Oh yeah, Coconut Grove.
Remember when you were just stuck in traffic professionally? For like that was your night.
Coconut Grove was popping.
Like,
people would just stroll in the Grove.
Hydraulics,
3 miles an hour.
Hydraulics at neon.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we would have made LA proud back then.
Back in the day, man.
DJ Zog, I think that you love being in the station, but I see you get out a lot.
All the time.
Power 96 like puts their DJs out. There's a lot of opportunities to play out. Like what's a good example of like a Power 96 event that you would go to and you perform live for? You know what I mean? Does that happen?
We used to do live broadcasts back in the day all the time, where we would be at the nightclub broadcasting live. So you hear the music that I'm DJing from the nightclub, and it was very cool. We don't do that anymore.
It was so cool, man, because that's what we had before live streaming.
Yeah,
like that was the only way to do that.
Yeah, that was the live streaming of the 90s and the early 2000s.
Yeah,
but I mean, there's so many events that I've been a part of with the radio station. We used to do all the Powerhouse concerts, but we've evolved, and eventually, like a couple of years ago, we did a pool party. We have a good relationship with some of the 305 people. 305 Day. We were just at an event there in Wynwood for 305 Day.
And if we listen for your show, like we'll get tips on where to
sure.
possibly see you like out in the wild.
Well, that's the thing about like my show. Like we're here, we're local, and if it's happening in Miami, we're going to talk about it.
Yeah.
And so we're going to be as real as we can be, and that's the whole thing about my show every morning on Power 96 with Evie, where we want to be a reflection of the city and of everybody that's living here.
For sure. I got two quick questions for you, but they're a little bit different. One, I was wondering what you thought about how like Instagram and social media has affected stuff for up and coming DJs or like new DJs.
Hey, you don't have to be a good DJ. You just gotta look cool. If you look cool, you got great selfies, and you got like the cute outfit, right? And the crowd in the background. Well, guess what? I want to book that guy because it's kind of like that whole sex sells type of thing,
Right.
So people, I mean, I hate to say it. I mean, there's a lot of good DJs out there, but there's a lot of DJs that they look great, but they're not that great when it comes to DJing. And that's how social media has influenced and affected like the DJ culture as well.
For sure.
Yeah.
Real quick, radio has an absolute bright future and isn't going anywhere.
Well, there's a lot of competition, obviously, with people can get their music so many different means, but the fact is that radio is always free.
Absolutely.
And so that is why I still believe it's more like 80-something
And it's
percent
truly local.
of the population.
It's not satellite. It's not coming
Right.
from another plate. Like it's
Yeah.
it's here. But I got to tell you, I've seen you do this on the radio, and I really want to ask you.
Uh-oh.
I've seen you do something with guests, and I thought it was cool. It was rapid fire,
Right.
where you just ask like rapid fire questions.
Yeah.
They're dumb questions. They're great questions.
Yeah.
I want to hit you with a rapid fire. Are you cool for me just to steal your stuff?
Well, at this point, I wouldn't be cool if I said no.
You would not. I've checkmated you.
Let's go.
And another thing I want to do real quick is I've got a couple examples of real DJ names and fake DJ names. I want to see if you can tell the difference.
Okay.
So I'm going to hit that real quick. DJ Jam Jams or Pants and Socks? Which one's real? Which one's fake?
Pants and Socks is real.
Dude,
The
zinging
more-
them. One for one.
The more ridiculous it is,
Osama Bin Laden or Inflatable Fuhrer?
Osama bin Laden.
They're both real, bro. Isn't that unfortunate?
Yeah.
DJ Lick Lips or DJ Shag Girls? That's some UK stuff.
I don't really follow British DJs, so Lick Lips is that? I don't even know if I got
That's
the
my
name.
fake one. I made that one up.
Okay.
I thought it had legs, man. STDJ or ADDJ?
Oh my God.
One of them's real.
One of them's real. I'm gonna say ADDJ.
I made that one up. I like it. If it's available, I want to take it. STDJ, though, does exist.
Oh, okay.
All right, baby. I took some of your rapid fire questions, if you wouldn't mind doing them, but I added a couple of like extra Miamis in there.
Okay.
If you wouldn't mind, see if you remember like which ones weren't yours and were just straight Miami.
All right.
iPhone or Android?
Oh, iPhone.
Star Wars or Star Trek?
Oh, Star Wars. May the Force be with you.
That's why I brought this
Let's
up.
go.
I needed to know. This is a very Miami question. Beach or beach? Sometimes you want to go to the beach, but you don't want to go to like the beach.
I'm a beach guy.
It's beach. Go to the sand.
Yes.
That means for anybody who's not from here, you're going to the ocean if you're going beach.
I go once a week.
House or condo?
I'm grown up now. House.
House, dude. Taco Bell or McDonald's?
Oh God. Taco
Say
Hell. I mean Taco Bell.
Yeah, taco.
I just messed up.
Bachata or salsa?
Oh, salsa.
Okay, all day. Empanada or croqueta?
Probably empanada.
Either. Jamón y queso or guava y queso?
Oh, guava y queso.
Dude, how can you say no, right? I got a couple more. I see you drink coffee because you got a morning show. Cortadito or cafecito?
Cafecito.
Every time. Kingsay or bar mitzvah? This one should be easy.
Quinceañera all the way.
You got too many cousins with too many kids. You got to do the kingsays.
But I don't hate on the bar mitzvahs. DJZog.com available for bookings right now.
What else I got? Carpet or tile? That's your question.
Tile.
He's an adult. Margarita or martini?
Oh man. Damn, I had one margarita yesterday and a martini. What a
Good,
conflict
both.
that
So
is.
both. Two more, vinyl or CD? They're both nostalgic.
Vinyl.
But that's why you're paying for air-conditioned storage right now. And for traffic, Calle Ocho or Flagler, bro, if you had to choose.
Calle Ocho scenery is very
At
nice.
least you get to see stuff.
Yeah.
DJ Z, thank you so much
I
for
appreciate
being
it,
with me,
brother.
man. I really appreciate meeting you. Everybody, I want you to stay on Power 96, watch this man's show, and give us the schedule real quick, the show schedule.
Monday through Friday, 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. I got a lot of parents that listen while they're driving their kids to work, or to school, I'm sorry, to school. But yeah, and DJ Zog on all social media, at DJ ZOG.
I'll drive your kids to work just so I can listen to this man's show. Take that from me, Jason Kesser. This has been Beach Channel Live. We appreciate you. We'll see you next time, guys.